What's going on, guys? King Trats here, back with a video on the channel, and today we made jerk chicken Alfredo. I've made this twice and I think I finally got what I wanted this time. So let me break it down through the little cooking process courtesy of my terrible camera work. So let's start with the chicken. We marinated this actually for about 3 hours in some jerk marinades. It's actually store-bought, but I seasoned it up a little bit more. It's the Grace brand, which is like one of my favorite when it comes to West Indian brands. But I added some garlic, some Scotch bonnets actually, and just some pepper. Nothing too crazy because the marinade is actually really good on its own. Pop that in the air fryer, 20 minutes at 375. Then we turned it up a little bit, put the broiler on for about another 7 minutes. The broiler was just on high, just to give it that nice little crisp crust that I like, while the inside stays nice and juicy. And we took some mixed peppers, just red and green bell peppers, put those in a pan, let those get nice and happy, let those get a nice little char to them, took those off, and in that same exact pan, I added the water, then our pasta to it. I wanted to boil it in some seasoned water. It's just a little trick that I do sometimes. I mean, it's not really a trick. I definitely didn't invent that. Once the pasta was boiled, we took that out. Make sure you save about a cup, a little less than a cup of pasta water so you can add store-bought Alfredo. Yes, store-bought Alfredo, roasted garlic Alfredo. Added that back to our pan, a little bit of the pasta water. Let that get to a nice slow simmer. Added our peppers back into that. Then we took our pasta, which we let sit with a little bit of truff olive oil, which is like the truffle infused olive oil. Added that and some salt and pepper. Yes, I seasoned my pasta too. I don't know why people don't do that. I didn't invent that either. And then we took that, put it back in the pan, let that mix up, let that get happy, let that soak all those juices in. Took that out, put it on our silver pan dish that resembles a prison tray according to a lot of people. Of course, we added our chopped chicken, which you now see. Chop that up and put that on top. A little bit more seasoning on the top of that. And this is what you see. This is the finished product, and it smells so good. It took every ounce of me to not like try the pasta or the chicken, I'm not gonna lie. And it's just sitting here and it's smelling. But of course, before we do that, of course, we got to do our reviews. You see them over here. I found these at 7-Eleven. Anytime there's something new, I'm always going to try it beforehand, let you guys know what I think about it. But these are Hostess Crispy Minis. I took the tops off because I have fat fingers, and every time I try to open stuff on camera, it takes me like 98 minutes to open. It's embarrassing. So I took the tops off, but you can see these are Crispy Minis. They look like those wafers. You know those wafers that they have where they're like at the to them? That, yeah, they're good. It sounds like a loogie. But you get what I'm talking about. Like, take a look up close. You can see that. But the difference with these is that they got more layers, and on the top you can see there's actually more of like a creamy something to it. So they look actually kind of dope. I love those little wafer things. I used to eat the Goya ones a lot as a kid. I don't eat Goya no more. But they've got cookies and cream flavored, and of course, my personal favorite, of course, the strawberries and cream. I don't know why I love that kind of stuff. I actually had a conversation with somebody today, and they were like, yo, you drank that like strawberry milk as a kid? And I'm like, a honey bun and strawberry quick for me was like, that's all I needed. I used to sit there, we ain't had no money, but I was sitting there in the steps back in the you know, in the trenches. You know, luckily we moved out the suburbs, but I'm like, mama, we gonna get out the hood one day. I wish I was joking. We did though, so that's a W. Anyway, it's Crispy Minis. I'm gonna try these real quick. I know these are gonna be good. Like, this is one of those Captain Obvious things to me. I don't know why I started with the cookies and cream. Come on, there we go. All right, grab a couple of those. We got 3. All right, let's get you close up. Peep here. They look pretty good though, right? It's like little snacky things, nice little cookies and cream layer going on the top. You see the wafers that I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about with these. I used to love these kind of things. W. The cookies and cream, literally, you can get little specks of that. There's a ton of flavor. These little addictive little something. Okay. See, peep this. See what I'm talking about, these layers? There's so much like chocolate in the middle. Can y'all see that? See what I'm talking about? Like, there's so much chocolate going on in the middle between these wafers that the flavor is actually very intense. They're quite addictive. I knew this was gonna be good, but I actually really, wow. But again, I'm partial to these little wafer things. I used to smash these all the time. I say that about everything. Yeah, I swear, I wish I was kidding. Let's try these strawberries though. I already know. This is gonna blow my mind. Don't get it on the pasta, stupid. All right, check that one out. Little flavor crystals on the top. Boom. On the side, strawberry and cream. Nah. Yes. Just yes. So flavorful to be so little. Like, it's crazy when you see how they just pack it all into this little thing. Like, I'm just W. Seriously? If you like those little stupid wafers like I did, you'll love these. Hostess for me is always like hit or miss. They hit. But, again, it was going to be hard for them to screw this up. That Kit Kat wafer, but they're not as hard as a Kit Kat. God, I know y'all had these before. I need like 2 more. 160 calories in a serving, which is 7 pieces. I have had 6. No, I've had exactly 7. YOLO. Whatever. 20 extra calories. I'm gonna 2 more squats tomorrow. We Gucci. Here we go. I like the cookies and cream, but I love the strawberries and cream. But like I said again, more of an impartial statement for me because strawberry milk for me, even as a kid, like hives or no hives, I don't care. I gotta be careful with those because I actually will get hives though. Wow. Wow. All right, let's get into this pasta too though. Let's get that first bite. Here you go. Jerk chicken Alfredo. How many of y'all are watching this right now knowing that this reaction is what I do when I really like something? This is what I look for. It's not drowning in Alfredo, but the Alfredo has that pasta water that I cooked it in with those jerk spices and the jerk seasoning. So it just gives you that little hint of, oh yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying. And again, see the chicken. See that inside? Turn that around for y'all. See that bark on there right there, right? That's what you're looking for. That's why I do it that way, where I break it and then I broil it. Because I just want to get that nice. God. And for people out there that like to drown their pasta in sauce, again, get it how you live. I am not judging you, but I do not. That is not how I grew up eating pasta. That is not. You need enough to coat the noodles so you get the flavor, but you want to let the integrity of the noodle still stay. You don't want to drown it in pasta where it's swimming in sauce, and that's not my thing. But this is just like the pasta season. The sauce has that little jerk thing in it. And then it's got the last bit with that tender, the juicy, and the chicken, and the peppers, and the Y'all feel me? I probably make no sense. In my own head, I do. Look, I even bought a bigger fork for y'all today. Look. Slight hint of bigger fork. This is fork senior. I'm gonna get the bigger fork out. I don't know why people expect me to eat with like a pitchfork because the food is big. I'm not gonna use a big utensil. Only time the big utensils come out is if I'm trying to eat for speed, like an eating contest. Y'all keep hearing these giant exhales like this. Bruh. 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 Like. That's insane. The first time I made this, probably like 3 months ago. And it was really good, but it was a little bit too spicy because I used like mad Scotch bonnet. I was sitting here and I was in tears eating it. I don't know if somebody else watched that one, but it was old. The second time I made it, I feel like I didn't get the consistency of the pasta right. Like it was too saucy. This is what I'm looking for right here. This is the W. And I didn't use peppers the other time, but I wanted to add like a little bit of peppers to it. I told you I'm on like a kick. When I get on kicks like this, like you're gonna see peppers in a lot of my food. But I love the flavor, almost like it made a broth with the pepper and the Scotch bonnet. The hell does this mean? I'll be doing this. I don't know what the hell. That's why this is not scripted. I don't know what the heck I'll be talking about before I can turn the camera on every single time. And that's why you get stupid stuff that comes out of my mouth from time to time. Because this is there's no, hey, we're going to talk about this today. Nope. Not at all. And this is really good though. About 20 ounces of uncooked pasta, by the way. I don't like getting too much into that stuff, but it's still my background, like the diet, nutrition. I know people don't understand even like the Krispy Kremes, but if you watch all my videos, you hear me talking about this stuff. Last time, I said I made 400 grams of rice. And not disrespectfully, but someone commented and said, I don't look like 400 grams of rice. I think what they missed was starch is pasta, my bread. Yes, I weigh my bread. My rice, you weigh it before you cook it. At least I do. Now, if you're eating more of like a meal prep way, not like me, I can weigh all my food because I eat it in one sitting. It's much easier for me to do that. So I can get the weight beforehand, because when you cook it, the water in anything is going to cause the starch to expand. And it's not the way I do it. So, this is about a box and a quarter of pasta. Which, I guess some people would say is a lot. But, before I started doing like the YouTube thing, and so it kind of made me change my meals throughout the week, I was eating 2 and sometimes 3 boxes of pasta in one sitting. But we can't do that anymore because I'm an idiot and I decided to eat Krispy Kremes. Damn, it's so good, man. So good. Ugh. I really do wish I can come and get you a plate. I do. Sometimes I'll be eating my food, right? And I'm like, yo, somebody needs to try this. I do, but I don't know if I try it. Forever alone. You know what I'm saying? No, my bad. Same as usual. Got the Poland Spring, sugar-free lemonade in the bottle. Stuff legit just hits different in there. It'd be, whew. Y'all gotta excuse me, because I might zone out with this one. Between that and these right here, we got ourselves a W. 100%. And I know I say this all the time. It makes me laugh because I catch myself now. I'm like, I used to eat that all the time as a kid. Now I look back and I'm like, yo, I used to eat way too damn much as a kid. 'Cause there's like so many snacks that I was eating on a daily basis. Snacks were cheaper back then. It was just easier to be fat. And in the summertime, you know, me and my crew, you know, people I ran with, we'd be on the bikes and we would stop. Cause you know, kids, we was up at like, you know, parents go to work at like 8. We was outside by like 9. And first thing we do, stop at like a bodega, bagel shop, whatever. And in the 90s, $1 took you a long way. You get $1, you got you a can of soda or a quart of water, whatever kind of drink you got. Even like the Yoo-Hoos and stuff were like 50 cents, which is crazy now because they're like $3. Like Arizona iced teas was always $1. They still are for some reason. They never like went up with inflation. Honey buns were like 50 cents. Bag of chips was a quarter. So if we got like a couple dollars a day, which is what my parents used to give me, I said to give me like maybe like $3, $4, sometimes $5, something like that in a day. $1.50 in the morning, good. And I used to always get different stuff, honey buns, all the Little Debbie's, Drake's, not the rapper, the actual like. I think Drake's is an East Coast brand too, but they make like these things called like coffee cakes. They look like crumb cakes, but they're like circular. One of them bad boys with some milk, and it was Puerto Rican dude down the street where I used to grow up. Had a little bodega, right? A corner store for those who don't know. It's like a little. Did it even like a convenience store, but like smaller? They're on the corner. I don't know. Like I sometimes I say things and I forget that some of the stuff might be regional. But it's the equivalent, just like a little deli. If you're in another place, like a little deli. They just call them bodegas. A lot of people that own them, especially like back then, were like Hispanic. So anyway, I used to give me like a coffee cake. He had a microwave in behind the counter. Also, this is another disclaimer. I know I go all over the place in my story. It's not a real bodega unless you're talking to the man behind the counter behind like 3 feet of bulletproof glass. Now I know that sounds crazy, but that's just the way it was. You'd be talking to the man behind the counter and he was behind a whole like thing of glass. You couldn't even get to him. But I used to slide the honey bun in there and be like, yo, put it in there for 8 seconds for me, bro. And he used to do it for me. So I used to get the honey buns, any like dessert snack, cosmic brownies, coffee cakes, whatever. If you want the perfection, depending on the snack, I tell people 11 seconds. LEBM, 11 seconds. Some of them was 8. But for the most part, 11 seconds and get you where you need to go. And it turns that snack from like a store-bought snack into deliciousness. You just get honey buns. I used to put peanut butter on them. Because in a lot of bodegas, a lot of corner stores, whatever, you could like, because they have stuff behind the counter, because they usually make sandwiches and all these, you know, they got like, you know, like ketchup, like mustard, mayonnaise, but even like peanut butter, like crazy stuff. And my peoples behind the counter, they businessmen. You just ask for something, they'll give you price. It's the way you went. Like, you know, it's funny because now, a lot of the bodegas and stuff are not just Hispanic now. Some Middle Eastern dude, like in New York, I know it's popular. Like I saw a thing on TikTok. Again, TikTok strikes again, always gets me. They call man's aki, which is like a term of, you know, that they use. He calls himself that, so he says he makes the stuff this style. He's in a bodega, and people come in, and it's like an account where people come in and ask for like the craziest stuff. I don't know if it's scripted or whatever, but what they're doing is true. You can go into a bodega and ask for the weirdest stuff in the world, and they're gonna put it together for you. You know, the chopped cheese thing is more of like a New York thing. You know, I used to have to go to New York all the time as a kid, so I ate chopped cheeses too, but they don't really make them in Jersey. That's more of like a city thing. But here you can still get whatever. Like, if you ask for a chopped cheese, they'll still make it for you. But it wasn't like the staple like it is there. So I used to get a honey bun and ask them to put peanut butter on it. You put it in the microwave for me? Peanut butter? Sometimes when I felt real adventurous, I used to get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on 2 honey buns. $1.50. 2 honey buns, 50 cents. And he charges $25, 25 cents for the smear. But that's like real stuff. Like, they do that at bodegas, and I guess they probably do it at a deli if you ask them. I don't know if y'all like be doing stuff like that stuff. You know, we used to be coming up with stuff. It's also funny now because I need a paper towel. A lot of the stuff that we did in inner cities, urban, I hate all that stuff, is now becoming gentrified. Which I find hilarious because things like chopped cheese have become like, you know, I see articles like, okay, this isn't shade when I say this. I want y'all to understand, I'm not gonna get it twisted. It's definitely not shade when I say this. I just find it funny that I'm trying not to laugh already. Article like these like, you know, trendy, like you know, like Now This and BuzzFeed and stuff like that. They be finding the most hood stuff, and then they like wow, look at this life hack. And I'm like, one of the things I saw this was during the during 2020. You know, I spent a lot of time reading random stuff. They had a whole article about a life hack they found where you can cook stuff. I think this is hilarious because they didn't find this. Using an iron. So I almost choked on my spaghetti, bro. Oh, hold on. Now, this phenomenon that they found of cooking stuff on an iron. Listen, that's not even a hood thing. If you know anybody who has done time, they have, that's where that came from. Okay, I had uncles and cousins that were, they still, look, if you watch the movie He Got Game, Denzel, okay, huh, that one. The man makes grilled cheese on, that was 1998, that movie came out. I was in, like, you know, I don't know what grade I was in, but forget the plot of the movie. He was an inmate, he's wearing an ankle monitor, he's in his hotel room, and he's making a grilled cheese using Pam, a paper bag, and an iron. That ain't new. I was telling you. The other thing I'm gonna tell you is people who have done time are the most inventive people you will ever meet. They can make something out of anything. That's real. Okay, I'm not gonna say what family members and all that other stuff, because I do have family members that watch this stuff, but I had family members when I was a kid, they would come up with the craziest stuff. My stuff would break. I ain't broken. Come here, bring me that. I remember one time I broke my stirrer, I was mad. Family member of mine was living near me at the time. Man took some electric tape, a hanger. So I wish I was making this stuff up, man. A hanger, 3 or 4 other things. Came back in an hour, plugged it in, worked like new. I swear. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. They will make you a pizza using ramen noodles. It's not a joke. I've had it. I saw that same ramen noodle pizza on fucking BuzzFeed 10 years later, bro. That's what I'm saying. Listen, bro, like y'all taking prisoner stuff, okay? That's why and this is another thing why I'm glad that TikTok has kind of gotten popular, because it has allowed former inmates to share some of the things that they have invented while doing time and be able to make content with it and monetize it. You know, they did their time, they're home, and now they can share some of that stuff. But like, I've seen some of the stuff on there too. Again, I'm going back to TikTok because I told you I've kind of turned the corner on TikTok, because yes, there are some downsides to it, 100%, but things like that, one, it serves as a deterrent because they're telling stories about what happened while they're doing time. So maybe you don't want to go because you don't want to go. And 2, it allows them to monetize and create content. TikTok has a, what do they call it? Like a creators portal or something. They have a thing where you can make money on TikTok. Fantastic. But I've seen stuff on there. They make like cheesecake using Oreos. And that's real. They're like, telling you, family of mine, like, they was doing that stuff because, you know, when they get out, it takes some time to like readjust back into like being on the outside. So they still will do that. They'll still eat some of that stuff. They'll still, I don't want to get too much into that, but you know, if you know anybody who's, and then come home, like, you get what I'm talking about. But I saw on BuzzFeed, bro. I'm telling you, it's like, they were like, look at this menu, and they were like glorifying chopped cheeses, like it's like a phenomenon. First of all, okay, what? I'm not saying chopped cheeses don't deserve it, but the chopped cheese is not a new thing. Like, they've been around for a very long time, and y'all, like, I'm not saying y'all as in you, like, the gentrification of it. Like, I went to Brooklyn and I tried to get some tacos, and they were like $20 for like 3 tacos. Like, I'm in Brooklyn, bro. Like, what am I doing? That's what's happening. And it's happening with chopped cheese sandwiches. Now, if I go into a bodega to get a chopped cheese, first of all, if I don't see the bulletproof glass, I don't want it from there. I don't need no artisan chopped cheese. Okay? I need my man in the back with the seasoning. Right? I was keeping it a buck. There are just certain things, like, it better be, and again, this is what they call themselves and what people call them. I'm not saying this in a derogatory way, but it better be Aki in the back, it better be Poppy in the back, it better, like, that's who's making my chopped cheese. Like, that's who's making my chopped cheese. It's like, that's who's making my chopped cheese. And it's just funny because a lot of things now that were popular in the hood, like BuzzFeed is getting. I'm not saying it's wrong about BuzzFeed. Like, there's a part of me that's like, it's good that they're like, oh, look at this, but like, you did not invent this menu hack, okay? And that's where I'm kind of going with. I'm not saying it like derogatory. It's just like, it's funny to me. Like, y'all think y'all found something because y'all put grilled cheese on an iron, bro. Like, people in prison be frying chicken, bro. I swear to you. Okay? I've had, again, family members come home, tatted up. Ain't no tattoo parlors in there. It's crazy. Some of the stuff that you can do, or that they've learned, or that BuzzFeed is like, hey, you can. That one still blows my mind. That one specifically, well, I showed my sister that. She started laughing hysterically too, because I was like, that's prison. You know what I'm saying? But either way, and I have to say that again, like, I'm not saying it derogatorily. Like, I think it's cool that they're shining a light on that stuff, but they need to find like some like prisoners and give them the credit, because that's who came up with this. I'm just saying. Good pasta. Stupid good. Stupid good. Stupid good. Verdict though. These, for me, you might like these more, but they're both legit. Super flavorful. Like, yeah. Might put that on honey buns peanut butter. Oh, that's a W. Oof. This weather in New Jersey is killing me, bro. I say that all the time, but y'all don't, if you're from Jersey, like, you get it. I've lived in in the Midwest. I've been in the South. The South is hot all the time, year round. New Jersey's the only place that I've ever lived where it's 40 degrees one day, 70 degrees the next day, then it goes to 60, and then it's 80 for a whole week, and then the next week it's 40. It just doesn't make sense, and it drives my sinuses nuts. Like, sometimes I wake up and my head feels like a balloon. And today, like right now, it's 49 degrees. It was 70 degrees earlier, and it's supposed to be like starting to get 70 because it's springtime. If you're from Jersey, you get it. Like, this stuff is, I'm just, my head, bro. Anyway, that's why I be all the time, because I always have allergies and stuff. It's hereditary in my family. Like, we have like sinus issues. My mom has them. My aunt has them. All my mom's side of the family, and we've all gotten checked by doctors, like sinus doctors, specialists. Scans, nothing wrong. So we don't know what's wrong. I think it's these big ass nostrils. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get all the smell. I get all that. All that. Anyway, man, it's been real. Tomorrow, I don't think we're in the kitchen because there's a new menu item. Some of you have mentioned in the comments, which I've replied, I'm on it. Y'all already know the vibes, so, we gotta go get it. That's what we do here. So tomorrow, I don't think. It'll either be tomorrow or the day after, but it's definitely gonna get on the channel. We try to get it when it comes out. So, not sure. Tomorrow I'm either cooking or not, but next 2 days, for the people who are asking the new menu item, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But I'm on it. I saw y'all. I replied to it. I love y'all. Y'all know what it is. We'll be back tomorrow. More content. Yes, sir. The hand signs. They made it to YouTube.